Well, thought I'd come and have a little look at Dartmoor. I haven't done this for 30 odd years but what I'm doing is going to be navigating across the moor with map and compass because I haven't got a sat nav. How long it'll take me, I've no idea. Will I get lost? I've no idea. It's a long time since I've used a map and a compass, but we'll give it a crack. We'll see where we end up. So could be fun. But yes, it's going to be a lot of interesting off-road. Well, you may wonder why I'm just cycling up some grass with nothing particular, nowhere particular in front or behind. If you look over there, that's to the north, that's lovely sunny Devon, and to the south, that's sort of Cornwall and Plymouth and all that kind of caper. One of the reasons I've waited till now to do this is to make sure it's dry enough. We've not had any rain for weeks now, so I'm hoping a lot of the big bogs that are up here are bone dry and they're not like showstoppers, because getting caught up in one of them would be an absolute epic that I just don't need. So yeah, hopefully the bogs are dry, we can just crack on, keep working away and get to where we need to be. So, but yeah, somewhere right over there, then do a 180 or 90, cross out to the west and then back towards the north, back to Oakhampton. So yeah, should be a good one. Hiya. What I'm doing at the moment in this first little bit is trying to gain some elevation, get up on that high ground. I can then have a little look. I got really good visibility today, so once I'm up there I can do a bit of a nav check, see where I'm headed, see where we're going, and then yeah, hopefully just join up the dots. But I'm trying to pick up a path that's running from my left to my right, and if I can find that, it'd be great, because I think that takes us pretty much south for about 6 or 7 miles. So if I can find it, that's what I'm going to get onto. Check it out. Tour number 1. I'll probably be sick of these piles of rocks by the end of the day. Right, I'm now on a place called Higher Tor. That is East Oxmont Farm over there. So this is the path I was looking for to try and pick up. I'm going to take this right across there, run across that ridge. Where's that? Over to Oak Tor, which is that little low one in the middle there. And then we're heading out towards Wild Tor, which is that big one over there. So we'll just cruise off, follow the way. As we're on the military sort of training area with all of this, there's obviously a nice massive sign to say, do not pick up anything that looks like a bomb, a missile. It's got fins, it's got something weird written on it you don't understand. How much of that I'll find, I doubt very much indeed. Not these days. But yeah, we'll just keep rolling on. Here we are, Oak Tor. That one up there is Wild Tor. Stinks of bloody sheep's piss. Yeah. And I think what I might do is let's get to the end here and I'll do another nav check. Yeah, so this is Oak Tor. That's Higher Tor where we were. We're going to follow this path over there, over that ridge line. That path in the distance, we've actually got to come back the way up to the top of here and then spur off over the back of that. Then we're heading off south then. and eventually we'll get to Hanging Stone Hill. That's the next little plan. By the way, this is one of the range bunker hut things when the military up here doing stuff. Hey, something that isn't ultra slow. Ooh. So it's quite a techie old ride in places. Yeah, look, another reason to do it this time of year. This isn't just like a total deep swamp. This would be a raging torrent in the middle of winter. These rocks are slippy, man. Look at that. Hence the reason I'm not riding over them. Save the heroics for another day. Got a nice little techie climb now. I have to sort of pick my way up this. Probably looks completely flat on the camera, and I wish it was. Yeah, as you can see, it's not the road most travelled, but the good thing is in the summer all these routes are a lot clearer than they are in the winter. A hell of a lot clearer. So we get up over here and I'm going to hang a right towards the east and spur off to Hanging Stone Hill. Look at that, Dartmoor ponies. Free if you can catch them. Check out this place. Should start getting some good views at some point. Get into some of the highest bits of Dartmoor. So yeah, we will start seeing quite a long way. Obviously there's no real path here at all. This is just literally where the water kind of runs. It's dried out. It's where the cows go. Occasionally the farmer passes through on a quad by the looks of it, but it ain't used. Not frequently. But what I did, I had a 5-minute sort of nav stop. Worked out that my next 3 kind of checkpoints I had to hit were all 3 of the highest points around. So all I'm doing is joining the dots. So when I get to the top of this one, I'll go to the top of the next one, and so on. And then yeah, when I get to the one I need to do the checks again, I'll stop, whip the map out and work out where on earth I've managed to get myself to now. But yeah, so far going well. Lots of climbing, lots and lots of climbing. With no actual nice trail to ride on. It literally is across the moor. Well, here we are. Can't even ride this bit. Keep coming up across some nasty old deep bogs. I've been for a couple of little splashes, but I'm just trying to keep myself. I can use the bike as a bit of a crawling mat on some of these. See, yeah. Here we go, see all these now. in the winter these would just be bottomless. Some of them still are, but there's just enough to go on to get by, get through, get round them all. Oof. Yeah, you got to pick your way. Definitely got to pick your way. Over there, that's the sea, right in the distance. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I can see the sea. How cool is that? Whee, that's a deep one. Whee. I think I can spy something that is some sort of track. And yes, nice, here we are. This should make life a bit easier for a while. Now crossing one of the bits where there's not really that much in the way of navigational aids, but heading to a place called Quintin's Man Cairn, which I don't know if you can see it in the distance there in the mid, well, sort of that big hill in front with the line going up it. That's it there, so that's where we're headed to. Then we're going to be turning right and cutting off a different direction over to our right hand side, and then going to go link up more tours then, but then we've definitely got no paths whatsoever, so I have no idea what I'm going to find. This might be our cairn. I'm just going to get up on here and have a little nav check. Nice. Yeah, so Quintin's Man Cairn, nice to see you. Now we're off to Sitterford Tor, and then we're going to go from right over there to right over there. Makes such a change to have something, some gravity to use rather than literally just pedalling. It feels like I've been pedalling for days. Those two walkers I saw back on the tour, oh no, it wasn't Hanging Stone Hill. When I saw them on there, Hanging Stone Hill, I had a quick chat with them. They were from Portsmouth, 3-hour drive to get here, and they've taken basically 3 days, or having 2 stopovers on tours, to effectively do a very similar route to what I'm doing, but the opposite way round. So they're heading back to just up by back end of Oakhampton basically tonight. They're going to camp out again tonight and then head into Oakhampton tomorrow and drive home. So just goes to show, like, they're doing it all on foot, and that's taken them flipping forever, but they are just cruising, father and son job, having a nice time, and like lunatic doing it on an e-bike. Right, let's work this one out. That went all right. Look at this. Someone was so bored up here, they decided to find, because there's loads around, decided to find all these rocks and stack them up to build a wall. That is just insane. That has definitely happened back in the days when labour forces were plentiful and incredibly cheap, because there's no way that would happen this day and age. No way in a million years. Right, this is Sitterford tour. Now I'm going to do a change of direction, hang off to our right, and then basically get out over there somewhere. I'll look at the map first. This is nasty. It's just full of babies' heads. It's just big tufty grassy lumps. So all you can do is sort of ram into them and try and pick a way through, over, around, whatever. But it ain't nice. It's totally not nice. Ugh. Even the smooth bits are flipping epic. Yeah. More sheep though. Sheep are loving it. The only way to try and explain riding on this stuff is like being on a clown bike, where you turn the wheel one way and you go the other way, and when the front wheel goes one way, the back wheel goes the opposite way. It is absolutely awful. Yeah, I can see why people invented tracks and roads. Oh, come on. And it's uphill and into a horrible headwind. This is most unpleasant now. Check this out. Put a roof on this. Bit of luxury. And here we've got a little cooking area. Get a little fire going in there, get your food on. But I'm going to do a nav check, that's what I'm going to do. Right. This is Stat's house, which is a ruin. Yeah, Mr. Stat was a pretty nails character. Right, we've now got to cut across past Flat Tor and up to Fir Tor. Nice. Downhill on the baby's heads now. It's just as horrible as going uphill on the baby's heads, just faster. Have to do another walk here down at this water course. Friggin' heck. Right, now up that lot. Great. But by coming through all this stuff here, it takes me back over to the east, where I can then start my sweep to the north. Once I start getting back towards the north, we should be able to pick up a few tracks and trails again. It's just this bit where there is just no, well, there ain't nothing. Just bogs, sheep, water. It's nasty. And I ain't got a pasty. Just got a sausage roll. Ah, yes. Ooh, push it. Push it real good. Ooh, push it. Push it real good. Right, been walking a fair bit now. Wait, here we go. What's this? Ugly scene. Rusty water. I don't fancy going in there. I don't know what it is, but I don't fancy going in there. This is the best bit about having a bike with you. It does make crossing things fairly straightforward. Oh, here we go. This could be fun. It's like a 3-metre deep hole. Get up. You get this high ground, so I can then have another decent nav check to work out where the hell we're off to now. But we are beginning to start that east to west, sort of swooping around to northwest loop now, thank God. Alright, just for some context, that big hill in the distance, we sort of came over the edge and round of that. This one in the foreground we were on the other side of. That one in the distance there, we came around the back of there, up that hill over there. That was down the Baby's Head trail down there to the rivers below. We've just come up over there, up across this, and here we still are. Still in an absolute load of nothingness. But we're headed that way. Just out of interest, this is a little fact check for you. This is the West Dart River head and also the Tavy River head, and I'm right next to Cut Hill Water. Cool. Now this is what you call extreme mountain biking. There ain't much riding involved. This is all about trying to get you and the bike across the terrain. Yeah. It's deep, man. So deep. Ah, short grass. Lovely. Oh, deep holes. Not so lovely. Oh my God. After what seemed like an eternity of pushing and shoving and dragging and jumping and grunting and puffing, probably must have been, well, I'll have to measure it when I get back, but it felt like 5 miles. But I'm finally on some grass I can ride, and this is fertile. So I managed to get myself back up onto some high ground. Willsworthy Ranges over there. So now we can hopefully start picking up the edges of some trails or some kind of defined route and get us back on something that's a little bit more rideable. That's what I'm talking about. It's boggy. Check this out. They knew I was coming, because look, there is absolutely nothing and absolutely no one for as far as you can see. Yeah, you guessed it. Still on the push. Bog dancing, jumping. Here we go. Do that squidger. Like this, constantly. Been like this now for about an hour. But we're going to go over this ridge, hopefully drop down to some civilization, and then pick up some trails where life should be a little bit sweeter. Here we are, still bashing on. We got some baby's head grass again, which is sort of rideable. Keep chipping away. But over there, where I'm headed now, that's sort of back into our northern route, and we should start picking up some little tracks and trails then, which takes us all the way back to our start point. Hey, happy days. So where I'm headed now is out, that's west over there. Bit of rain at the moment, but yeah, it's going well. Well, slight disaster in the fact that beyond Fir Tor, all we were faced with was a lot more of this. So, there's been a change in plan. We are now just going to strike north and pick up one of the tracks that we sort of came down south on, but then speared off to the east. We're just going to head north, intersect with one of those, and then follow that out back to those two tours up in the distance there, which are literally where the van is parked. So I think we've got probably a couple of hours of this to go, and then yeah, we should be back on some sort of recognisable rideable track. But fair play, what a place Dartmoor is. That's been awesome. Like you say, this northern section, we've gone from the back end of Oakhampton right the way down to Wilsworthy Ranges, and now we're sort of, instead of cutting back up the west fringe, which is that section over there, we are just going to blast up straight north back from whence we came, really just to pick up a proper trail before we're out of batteries, before we're out of energy, before we're out of everything. So yeah, good day out. Well, that's 4 hours in and we're still grinding away. There are no paths, so we are just literally cross country and everything. It's going slow, but we're getting there, still making it north. Once we get over that ridge line, we should be seeing our little finish and happy days. But Jesus, it's like once you run out of paths, you run out of paths. But yeah, we just keep chipping away. Some of it's rideable, some of it's not. So you do have to enjoy a good push and a drag and a fling and a throw. Hey, look at that. You can actually see the edge of the moor again now. So come all that way. Hopefully we should intersect one of the trackways soon, and it'll be an easy blast back to our start point. Well, that's Fir Tor back there. So basically I've pushed and dragged from there all the way through this stuff, and then look what I find. Someone was doing a log race and they left the log here. That must have been a bad day. That must have been a very bad day. Just got to move carefully through this stuff. So many holes. So easy to break a leg or an ankle or something, twist a knee. So just taking it steady, picking your way through. I can see the track there on my left now, so I'm just going to stay on this contour until I hit it, and then use gravity to let me recover, basically. That's the hanging stone, if you've not seen it before. It just hangs there. Ugh. And the whole Jesus. Bit of rideable grass. Take me down to the track. No complaints for a bit of gravity. Missed it today. Yes, here we go. Happy days. Oh, gravity feels so good. Who doesn't love a bit of streamage after all this bog and swamp? Yeah, shame we didn't actually get to crack the actual loop we planned to do. But at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do. And bar carrying the bike another 15 miles, that was never going to work. So, no idea what distance we'll have done by the time we get to the end of this, but find out when I get to the end. Check this out. Bloody sheep. Here we are. We're back.